So guys, I have to show you this because this is absolutely incredible. And when I saw this video, I just could not believe it. So I show you a little clip of this, just a few seconds. So let me know. When I saw it first this morning, I thought, no way, this is fake, this is AI. You know, with so many AI videos going around, I thought, nah. So I put it aside. Then I saw it again in another news release, and I'm like, okay, but still, that's not a credible source. I don't know. So then this evening, I had a little bit more time, so I was digging in deeper and I was doing some research, and the video is real. So look at what's happening. So you see this group of hikers, this is a volcano, and I tell you which one, it's Mount Dukono in Indonesia. So this is a steep crater, this is a tall volcano, and the people are climbing on that volcano. But you know, you have to know the background story of this. So let's just assume, okay, if there's a volcano that keeps erupting all the time. And with erupting all the time, I mean like this month already, this volcano has erupted thousands of times this month. So August 20th, thousands of times. What do you think? Oh yeah, let's join a group of hikers with your nice backpack and let's get up to that volcano right on the edge of the crater. I mean, no way, I would never do this. But maybe these people, if you're watching my channel, maybe these people are the regular swimmers that like to swim in a place in Iceland called the Blue Lagoon that sits on top of a magma chamber, and there's continuous eruptions and lava streams and earthquakes, and that place keeps open and the people flock in there to swim in that nice hot volcanic water, so to speak, water that's released from a geothermal power plant. So maybe after they had the thrill there, they thought, well, you know, now we did swim on top of a volcano, let's go hiking one while it erupts. It's crazy. And I mean, look, you have to, and then, you know, they seem to realize that is maybe something bigger. So I assume they had a tour guide or something, and that guy probably realized that is weird, that is different. And you know, the Dukono volcano is right now still erupting intensely, and it's producing an eruption column with an average height of 100 to 1,000 meters, so a little under a mile, spewing up ash clouds into the air. And it's not only ash, it can spew volcanic particles as well, and it did do that. So it's really, really crazy. So let's get more specific. I'm still not over the fact that they went up there. So from August 1st to August 19th, there were 2,387 seismic eruptions. So that's why the scientists are saying that indicates that the activity of Mount Dukono is still high. Yes. And because of these guys that went up to that volcano, the Center of Volcanology and Geological Disaster Mitigation, and they're also the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources and Geological Agency, whatever these names are, has warned against climbing of Mount Dukono. Well, they have warned, but it seems like they can't restrict it. That's a little bit weird, right? So this warning came after these dozens of climbers, as you've seen, narrowly escaped the volcano's eruption. And this video that we're seeing, it's coming from an ex-user. He's called Eruption, and he posted this video, and it shows that these climbers, they're running down, they're scrambling, and they're running to avoid this volcanic eruption. And if you're running down a volcanic crater and it's very steep, there's a high risk that you might get hurt, that you might stumble, that you might fall. It's all volcanic rocks and ashes. Visibility is not great. So the user also says, in combination with this video, he says they rushed to climb down as the mountain in the Halmahera region erupted. So right now the volcano is at level 2 activity status, or it's called alert status. So, and because of that, now they have entered a ban on entering the area within a 3-kilometer radius of Mount Dukono's crater. So really, when you see that these volcano spotters, they have put their life in danger, this is completely out of the question. This is crazy. I wouldn't even hike up there, even if they say, yeah, it's spewing that ash continuously. You never know if there is not something stronger coming. And where is this volcano located? It's on the island. It's called Halmahera. And this guy is constantly active, right? That's why. Just to see ash clouds, I can see this from a distance. That's way better. Like the people in Sicily when they're looking at Etna, for example. And that still does not make me feel too great, right? So normally, Mount Dukono produces ash eruptions almost every hour. And of course, it covers its flanks from the crater with a fine layer of volcanic ashes, or you can also call it like volcanic sand, but it's actually particles, little rock particles and stuff like this. And it's everywhere. It settles on the plant and of course on the hikers that go down there or up there. Today they were running down. So it's a very narrow path that these hikers have to get up there. And I think you can see it in this drone video. So if you want to get to the summit, it's a narrow, very, very steep path. And you're covered in ashes when you go up there from tip to toe, basically. People say that you're completely covered and that you have to wipe yourself free all the time. This adds to the excitement. Nope. Then I'd rather clean my fireplace and I look the same. It's safer. And you know, there has been a series of earthquakes in the area, in an area, and it's called Molucca Sea. And that was already starting in May and June. And since then, the volcano has increased its activity and it has erupted significantly more frequently than before. And you know me, of course, I'm raising the question right now, why didn't they shut the access down earlier to wait and see what that volcano is doing, right? So the number of larger eruptions has increased in proportion to the increase in normal eruptions that this thing sees. So that's a reason for me, I would restrict it. I would not let people up there. If something is increasing with a volcano, nope, no thank you. And you know, that volcano, they call it, it throws out volcanic, like bomb-like stuff. And you can be hit by this as well. Like I said, these are not only fine ashes, it can be like little rocks and particles. If that hits you, it's not great, right? And remember, there was an incident in Stromboli, I believe, in 2019 when a hiker did exactly what these guys did. And then Stromboli erupted and these little rocks were hitting the hiker and the hiker was lost. He lost his, I can't, you know, it's hard, you can't say these words on YouTube because then your video gets blocked. So, but you know what I mean? He was like, right? So it throws out this material and it comes down, it fly out along the volcano's flanks where these people are hiking. And what you see in this drone video, that was not a normal small eruption. This was a major eruption, and that's why it ended almost in disaster, because people could have been seriously hurt by falling down that steep grade there, by just running and falling. They don't even have to be hit by the volcanic material. So what you see in the video, this is this massive ash cloud that's rising from the crater, but then also filling this entire crater of the volcano. And when that happens, there were people on the crater rim. So it must be hot. There must be some wind blowing at you. So alone from that, it's risky that you might fall over. That's just my opinion. And this group, they call themselves volcano spotters, had more than 20 members. So anything between 20 and 30 people. So if they're running down, people have different speeds. One stumbles, panic, ashes. It's crazy. They were almost, the ones that were standing on the rim, that's what people reported, they were almost swept off the crater by this volcanic eruption. I would say probably blown away, because there is a lot of pressure that's coming down from the volcano. You know what the people first did? They were retreating and then they were looking for cover. But that's not a good idea, because you don't know what's coming out. It's definitely going to be hot. And there is no cover, right? There is no cover. So all they could do is running, storming down that steep slope on this narrow trail. And, you know, and that is something that is really, really dangerous, because while you're running down, imagine that, guys, you don't know what is happening behind you. And I'm sure there's a lot of noise when this is happening. So what if there's lava coming that's rolling down the hill? You could not outrun this. So they were really, really lucky, and they really call these volcanic explosive bombs when this material comes out. So while you're running, you could be hit. You can't, you can't turn around all the time while you're running down that steep. How can you avoid it? Well, you can't anyways if there's no cover. So this is really, really scary. That's why I thought the video is not real, because I thought no way that someone would even go up that steep crater. And normally there's warning signs with earthquakes if something erupts. I mean, but this is when I first saw it, I thought that looks like a White Island situation. There's tourists there and then something happens, right? It's similar. So what the officials are saying, they have detected 184 earthquakes, seismic measurements yesterday. So that's a lot, right? Why not close it down? I'm saying it again. These seismic eruption signals, we call them, had maximum amplitudes of like 34 millimeters. And these seismic events lasted for up to 57 seconds when it was spitting out something with these seismic events. And already then the ashes were rising up to almost 2 miles, in the 2-mile range, 2,400 meters. So normally these are values, these are numbers that should make you think twice whether you will climb a volcano. So maybe I take back what I said at the beginning. They must have had a guide, because if there's someone experienced, you would think that they would look at the seismic measures before they would decide to lead such a large group up to that rim. But the problem is, if you look at that country, it's different from people. They have a different attitude, different than Europe and North America. So usually these groups are accompanied by guides. And I'm pretty sure this one was probably as well, because if you've never been there and you're a tourist, how do you find your way up there? And usually such a large group has someone, and someone local. And the problem is, in certain countries, they take greater risks. They feel different than we feel in Europe or North America, for example. And they often take risks that no responsible person in maybe other countries would take. So these incidents have happened in this area. So if you're a tourist, you always have to think for yourself as well. Is this wise? Is this worth risking my life to, or could I watch this from my couch, right? I thought this is interesting, guys. If it was, please like this video, share it with the world, help me push it out, leave me a comment. And yeah, I just released something about California, which is very interesting because many people think, oh, if there's a lot of mini quakes, that is good. That releases the stress. So the probability for a big one reduces. No, not so much. The explanation in the video, and California is at risk to have something big. And some scientists are saying this year, because the number of earthquakes is the highest number since 1988. So watch that video, it's highly interesting. So guys, I see you very soon. Stay aware, stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.